morning, guys. Good morning, morning, morning. Good morning, and happy November. I am so excited it's November. We have our Christmas cup. We have our Christmas cup topper who just dangles there. We have our Christmas sweaters. We have our Christmas coffee cup. I am so excited for November. October was a rough one for me, but we got through it. I read 13 books in October, and I can't wait to talk about them. And yeah, we did the damn thing. So, cheers to Lauren's favorite season of the year. And let's talk about what we read in October, guys. I'm going to drop my little grid and we will get right into it. So 13 books, which is shocking because I did not think I was going to get 13 in. For a variety of reasons. One, everything going on around me. And two, and the most important one, it was I had a rough start to my month. I had a 1-star read and then a couple of 3-star reads, and I was being very generous with the 3 stars. But we'll start with that 1-star read. So I started it at the end of September, and I tried to push through it. We had no electricity, so I had no way to charge my Kindle and stuff, but thankfully this was a physical book, and did the best I can with it. But I started Hurricane Wars during the hurricane and thought this is going to be so fun and vibey, and it was not. Hurricane Wars by Thea Gonson, I have no idea what that book is even about, guys. It was the most chaotic book I've read in a long time. I don't give a lot of 1 stars, but that one was a 1 star for me. I just could not get into it. I DNF'd it at about halfway because there was no way I was finishing it, but I am counting it towards my total because god dang it, I worked for that half a book. It was terrible. I don't know, maybe I just don't get it. But half the time I had to reread sentences because I was like, that sentence doesn't make sense. Is that 2 nouns and a preposition? What? It was a lot. Hurricane Wars is awful. Awful. In my opinion. Once again, these are 100% my opinions, and I don't like to shit on books very often. But I did not enjoy Hurricane Wars, so let's just leave it at that. Next up was a really big disappointment, and that was Stuart Turton's The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. Okay, so my second read was a bit of a disappointment, like I said earlier. It was The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle by Stuart Turton. And I did give it a 3-star, but that was probably being very generous. I have seen parties themed after this book. Women who love this book, well, readers who love this book. And I didn't get it. And I don't know if it's because I did it on Audible or what. It was very slow. It was kind of boring. I'm going to be real with you. I did finish it, but I don't think there was a lot of me that enjoyed that book. I don't know. And once again, it could have been everything. That's why I gave these next couple of books 3s. Because it could have been everything going on around me that kept me from getting wrapped up in the book and the story. Yeah, it just was not amazing. That's just my opinion. I gave it a 3 because it was kind of a slow book and did not grab my attention. My next one was Throne of the Fallen by Kerri Maniscalco. I have not read any Kerri Maniscalco before. I bought it because it was a pretty cover. If you know me, you know. And it was okay. I gave it a 3. I really loved the beginning. It was so good in the beginning. And then it just kind of towards about the 50 to 60% area really got kind of slow again. I did finish it. It was okay. It wasn't anything I would write home about. I had a hiccup. I hope you guys didn't catch that. It wasn't anything I'd write home about, but it was just okay. The next book I read was Jennifer L. Armentrout's A Light in the Flame. And I should not have read this book when I did, because I already struggle with this series. Okay, I have no idea where that video cut off at. I'm struggling to get through this today. Okay. A Light in the Flame by Jennifer L. Armentrout was my fourth book that I read. And it was not the time to read that book, I think. I did give it 3 stars. I already struggle with these books from this series with her. Her spinoff of the Fire and Ash. Y'all know what Jennifer Armentrout series I'm talking about. The first couple of books, Blood and Ash, oh my god, they were so good. So good. And progressively, they have just gotten more boring to me. And it dropped from the library, and I was like, ooh, I am not in the mindset. I had just had 3 kind of boring-ish books. I was like, I am not in the mindset to read this right now. But I did want it to go to waste from the library, and I was like, I'm going to sit down and read this book. And I regret that I forced myself to read it, because that kind of projected me to make my mood reading video. Because I'm a mood reader. I've come to just establish that I am a mood reader. Just because something drops from the library, I cannot stop what I'm doing and read it. I will be miserable trying to read that book if it's not what I want to read at the time. But we got through it. It wasn't terrible. It was a little bit boring. But let's be honest, it's got a lot of lore and world building in it. So that's sometimes going to happen. I did give it 3 stars. If you love this series, it lives up to the expectations of the series. And it is just like all the others in the series. You've got your romantasy, you've got gods, you've got lore, you've got a cast of characters. You're going to love this book if you love all the other Jennifer L. Armentrout books. But the book that got me out of my funk was, no surprise here, Freida McFadden's The Boyfriend, her newest release. I read that book in like 4 hours sitting there on my couch because I could not put it down. It was so good. I didn't see the ending coming. It was so, so good. Oh my gosh. I did not see that ending with the female character. If you've read it, you know what I'm talking about. It is so, so good. Oh my gosh. I love Freida McFadden. If I'm in a reading funk, I can pick up a Freida McFadden book and be out of that funk instantaneously almost. It was so good. I rolled right into one of my anniversary and anniversary presents from my husband, which was Us in Ruins by Rachel Moore. That book was so good. It was a 5-star plus for me. It is YA. The most you're going to get is a little smooching, but it is so good and very like, I don't know. I had some books this month that had great vibes and great, what's the word I'm looking for? Just worlds, right? Where they're taking place. Settings. That's the word I'm looking for. Great settings. And this one took place in Pompeii at a dig site, an archaeological dig site, and kind of all around Italy. And it was just fantastic. The vibes were fantastic. I loved Rachel Moore's Us in Ruins. I plan to read her other one she has, Library Something. I downloaded it and I'm excited to read it. Next, I rolled into another 5-star plus read. See, I told you, I had those first 4 books that were really letting me down, including that 1 star at the beginning of the month. But I picked back up, guys. Another 5-star plus read. Another 5-star plus read. The Things You See in My House, guys, is Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood. It is a Spotify exclusive audio book. It's a little short. It's like 5 hours on there, But if you love Ali Hazelwood's STEM-based novels, don't sleep on it, dude. Go ahead and get it on Spotify. I enjoyed the hell out of this book. It was fun, especially if you're a gamer. It has to do with video game developers. Those are the two main characters' jobs. And it is very Ali Hazelwood programmed. If you love her STEM nerdy characters, if you don't get upset by the big guy, small girl thing, read it. It's really, really good. It was a fun read. My next book was Pucking Sweet by Emily Rath. Now, Pucking Sweet is the third book in the Pucking Wild series, the Jacksonville Rays series. It is that classic MMF, why choose format hockey romance that everybody eats up. I ate this book up, gave it 4 stars. It did not get 5 stars because, let's be real, it's not the best literature ever written. But I enjoyed the heck out of it. I was in absolutely my hockey romance mood, so I followed that up with Puck Around and Find Out by Sarah Blue. That is the third book in Sarah Blue's series. I forget I think it's like the Alpha and Omega hockey series. I've read all of those as well. I do prefer that Emily Rath series to the Sarah Blue series, strictly just on quality of writing, I guess. But honestly, they're both fun, and I gave that one a 4-star as well. I have been craving some Stephanie Plum in my life. Her newest book, 31, It's Now or Never 31, I think, comes out in about 2 weeks, and I will be getting it on release day. I have been reading Stephanie Plum's mysteries by Janet Ivanovich since I was my daughter's age. 31 years I've been reading these books. Well, she put out multiple a year because I'm not that old, guys. But I've read them for the last easily 20 years or more of my life. Okay, we'll just go with that. And fantastic. I love them. They're funny, they're cute. Well, I was craving some Stephanie Plum in my life, and I went ahead and just pulled the plug on the Diesel series that Janet Ivanovich did. My library had all 3 of them on their Audible, and so I downloaded all 3 of them. I'm finishing the third one. It'll be my first book of November. But Wicked Appetite and Wicked Business, they are Halloween themed, so it was perfect for the vibes I was going for. They take place in Salem in the fall. They're hunting ancient relics throughout Massachusetts and Salem area. And they're just fun. If you like the kooky cast of characters that Janet Ivanovich creates, you will love these books just as much as you love the Stephanie Plum ones. And Diesel does make a couple of appearances in the Stephanie Plum books. So if you like that character and want more, definitely check out Wicked Appetite, Wicked Business, and Wicked Charms. Wicked Appetite. Why can't I say Wicked? I keep trying to say Whip It. Wicked Appetite got 5 stars from me. Wicked Business was only 4 stars. I felt like it was definitely a feeder novel between the first and the third. I don't know how much I'm going to love the third. I am 30% through it and I'm enjoying it so far, but I have heard it ends on like not a lot of resolution, and it came out in 2015 or 16, and so I don't know if she's doing more, so that might piss me off. Then I have 2 5-star reads to end the month. Book of Night by Holly Black is her first foray into adult novels, if you would. Holly Black writes a lot of YA. I believe she wrote the Cruel Prince series, so if you liked that, this is very different. But it is dark, it is creepy. It is about essentially shadow hunters, but like actual people's shadows, and old magic and dark magic, and it is really, really well done, and I gave it 5 full stars. I thought it was impeccable to read. I was reading it like a couple of days before Halloween. I thought I had the book figured out. I did not. The bad guy is kind of obvious, but you think there's another bigger bad. And it just really pulls the rug out from under you at the end. I enjoyed it. I have heard that she's doing a second book called Thief of Night, or Book of Thieves, something thief. I am very excited about that because I need to see where she goes with these two main characters. She sets up an amazing series in this book. It is a very, very good book. The last book I read of the month, though, I did a whole video for you guys that you will get Saturday morning. Well, that you got this past Saturday morning. And that is, of course, Bloodguard by Ceci Robson. Red Tower Books does not let me down. They just absolutely don't. If you like high fantasy, if you like romance, if you like strong female characters, and you are not scared of magic systems and fighting and world building, get you a Red Tower book. You will not be disappointed. You just won't. My top 2 books for the year, because Bloodguard is now my favorite. Heaven Breaker was my favorite. It is now my second favorite. Is also a Red Tower book, people. That's telling you something. If you like the kind of books that I like, and you are consistently, when I do these videos, saying, oh, I liked that book too. Oh, I liked that book too. Red Tower books, like, they're a go-to for me. I have no complaints. That was my favorite book of the year, Bloodguard. I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because I did a 15-minute video all about it. But yeah, that is everything that I read in October, guys. If you have any suggestions for November, please let me know. I am chucking away at my 15 to read before the end of the year. I've marked like 4 or 5 of them off, so I'm excited about that. I plan to finish that. Bloodguard was my 142nd read of the year. My goal was 150. I will easily hit that in November and December. But yeah, we've got some really cool videos coming up. We're going to take a look at our yearly TBR, which was all of the books I owned and had not read yet. I believe there was 78 at the beginning of the year on there. We're going to take a look at that and see where we ended up, how many of those books we were able to mark off. I'm very excited about that because I think I easily cut half of those books off, easily. So I'm really excited to kind of take a look at that and see where I ended up. And also we have my New Year's resolutions for next year, which is book series that I have put off or I've been hearing a lot about and I haven't pulled the plug on yet. I'm really excited to dive into that because I told you 2025 for me is definitely going to be the year that I take on the massive world of the Zodiac Academy. Too many people have suggested it to me. Too many friends have been like, what do you mean you haven't read Zodiac Academy? I plan to do it in 2025, guys. It's just a lot to take on. It's going to be a whole month of my year, just like when I read all of Throne of Glass. I will just section myself out that time, and I will do nothing but read those books. I feel like that's the only way to take on a series that big. Because if you are constantly going from one world to another, you're going to forget characters, you're going to forget things like that. But I will wrap this up. Cheers to November. I hope you have an amazing and fun-filled month. And I will see you guys on Wednesday for another book review. Bye.